Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. Hope everybody had a good week. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to join. Enjoy the music. Welcome back, Robert. Welcome back, Jeffrey. Glad to hear, Jeffrey. We'll give everybody just a minute or two more to join, and then we'll get started. Be sure to hit that like button, help grow the stream. That just helps all of our content, helps bring us more material, and helps us all learn. So appreciate everybody doing that. And and we'll get started here very, very shortly. Hey Jeff, welcome from Australia. And hey everybody, how are you doing this evening? So let's jump on over and we'll start here with the Bambu website. But let's see, Eduardo has a question here. I'm having a problem with my camera. The camera is not streaming on the Bambu Handy app. Not on the Bambu Studios. Any thoughts? Yeah, so there's a couple of things that will cause an issue. Let me grab this real quick. There's a couple of issues that'll cause that to do that. Let me see if I can find this guide that I saw the other day. But basically some of the things to check is to make sure like Teams isn't working or Skype or something like that isn't running in the background. That'll cause it to not work sometimes. And what causes it to not work is whenever it updates, it needs to re-download the camera tools. So when it doesn't re-download the camera tools, it won't work again. And sometimes like Teams or Skype is holding on to some connection that's shared there or something like that. So I've seen that before. The other workaround for that, Eduardo, is you go into under users, yourself, app data, roaming, Bambu Studio, that you'll see that camera tools there. Delete that folder and then close out Studio and open it back up again and let it re-download that camera tools. That's what the problem is there's a hang up on that downloading of the camera tools. And hey, Karen, also from Australia, and it is noon on a Sunday. It is tomorrow. It's Saturday evening for us. So hello from the future. Yeah. Let me see. So basically what you'll want to do is go into your main folder right here, go into users, yourself, app data, roaming, Bambu Studio, and camera tools, and even possibly plugins. Like you might want to delete both of those things. Or the other thing that you can try to do, Eduardo, because what's hung up is it's not updating one of these two folders right here and the files that are in those two folders. The other thing that you can do is uninstall and reinstall. And I've run into this a couple of times, Eduardo. This happened to me a couple of times when updating either Orca Slicer or Bambu Studio. This happens on this computer particularly as well. It gets hung up every once in a while, and that's how I fix it. Make sure Skype and Teams isn't running, and then delete these folders, and then close and reopen the app, and it'll re-download it and go from there. But again, you just go to your main system, users, yourself, app data, roaming, Bambu Studio. Yeah, the file path would be the same. Go to your same main file, whatever that name is there. And then it's something similar to that. It's not far off of there. The other thing that you might do, Eduardo, if you can't find it, is just uninstall it and reinstall it. It's the little camera tools folder that's hung up there. That's all it is. And I've had that happen both on Orca Slicer and on Bambu Studio. Yeah, uninstall it and reinstall it. And it'll reinstall that camera tools. Like I said, that's what's hanging it up. You just need to figure out whatever the easiest way is to reinstall that camera tools. Or plugins, whichever one is hung up there. So on the filament here, the only thing new, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but the only thing new that I saw is they brought back PACF. And if you remember, I got a half a roll of this with my Bambu in the beginning, and then this disappeared from the store, and all they have had is the PAHTCF. But I do see that they brought back the PACF, but I didn't see anything else new from there. And then Jeffrey says, I cannot send files to the printer from the slicer. Got to use a SD card. So Jeffrey, if you're having issues connecting your printer to a wireless network, you need to make sure that you have a 2.4 gigahertz wireless network on there. And if you have a modern router, the default is just to be on 5 gigahertz. So you need, what I did is I just have the same network name, and this is pretty standard to do. You just log into the settings of your router, and you'll probably see somewhere under the network settings, you'll see 5 gigahertz checked, and you'll see a place where you can check 2.4 gigahertz. So it's the same network name and password and everything. And that's what will give your printer access to the internet if that's what you want to do. If you're having issues with that, it's 2.4 gigahertz network that you need to put it on. Yeah, let me know what happens with that, Eduardo. Somewhere in there, that folder got hung up. And probably most recently on the update is probably when that started happening, if I were to guess. And is that the issue that you're having, Jeffrey? You're not able to connect it to the internet? Or is it connecting to a network and just not working? And if that's the case, it's probably because it's a 5 gigahertz network only. Go into your router settings. right, so yeah, like I was saying, this is the only thing new that I saw on here, other than maybe it looks like there's a couple more colors of ABS in here. Yep, see? That's happened to me a couple of times after I updated. Do you also have Orca Slicer and Bambu Studio on your computer as well, Eduardo? I think that might have something to do with it as well, because I have that on mine. So let's go ahead and get into this evening's print. So I'm making a table or whatever, and I have one of these Makita planers, and I also have a Festool vacuum cleaner. So I found this print file on here. It may not be useful for you guys, but I thought this would be cool to show, you know, it's not always little characters or whatever that you print with this. You know, sometimes like I have a need for stuff. So, and that's the whole reason that I got into 3D printing to begin with is I needed stuff for my wood shop out in the garage, and things like this, little adapters and things like this. You can get $20 to death on these things, and it costs a couple cents on my 3D printer to print it. So tonight we'll be printing this little adapter right here. But the way that I found this is I just did a internet search, you know, just a normal Google search for, you know, Makita planer to Festool vacuum adapter STL file, and STL Finder eventually led me to this one that has 3 different ones. And then it, you know, he has some different things in Milwaukee, Rockwell, Makita, and then the Festool hose end and which sizes are which on there. So that made it pretty easy to do there. You can see the printing job from your laptop, but it cannot send it from your laptop. Yeah. It's not sending from your... Can you see your printer? That's the bigger thing, Jeffrey. Can you see your printer from your laptop? So I already have this thing loaded in there. So when you go to device, do you see your printer right here, Jeffrey? And if you don't, that's probably why, is you're not on the right type of network, and you need to change that up. Give me 1 minute. All right, so I do have the new PEI textured plate in here. So we'll try printing this on there with ASA. I think I can print with ASA without using anything. Let's go to the guide. And it actually has a little thing. Yeah, glue stick required, no on the ASA. And glass plate removal, no. Awesome, so we can use it with the new PEI plate here. So we'll go ahead and do that, slice it. Looks like it won't take any time at all. So let's go ahead and print it out. Has anybody else done the gold PEI plate yet? And then Jeffrey, no, don't have to work on how to get that. Check your internet and make sure you have a 2.4 gigahertz network for it, Jeffrey. If not, shoot me an email and we can see if we can't troubleshoot that. But that should be the issue, I would think. And then Garth, practical prints give me the most satisfaction. Had my X1 carbon for just over a month and it has been working great. That's awesome to hear, Garth. And yeah, practical stuff was the whole reason that I got into 3D printing, is I needed a dust collector for my miter saw. And I couldn't buy one, and I didn't want to build one of those giant stupid box things around it all crazy. So that was the first thing that I found, is that it needed to be 3D printed, and to send it somewhere to get 3D printed was as much as buying a 3D printer. So I just bought a 3D printer instead. I bought the Creality, which was crap, but I did eventually get the Bambu, which is not crap. And then Eduardo, you have it, but not have used it yet. Watch tomorrow's video. I do a review on it. And that's the new go-to. I'll just give y'all a sneak peek on the video. That's the new go-to. And for those of you that have been looking for the perfect plate, let me just define what I consider the perfect plate. And I'll go over this tomorrow as well. But it should hold the object while it's hot and release the object when it's cold. And that would be great without using glue or anything like that, right? So if plates live up to that standard, then I will recommend them, and that will be the standard for recommendation moving forward. And then Jeffrey asks, how do you remove some supports after you do a slice? Like you don't want to do supports at all on your print, or how do you remove the prints after you've printed it? Which one, Jeffrey? I can tell you either one. And then Lenny got the new plate and I love it. Yeah, it's the new go-to, guys. If you haven't got it yet, it's $35. Go get it. And be sure to hit the like button on tomorrow's video. And then Alistair, I just started having an issue with gold plate for some reason when I try to print with Bambu Labs PETG using the stock settings. It sticks to the plate and some parts have broken. Other PETG. Let's make sure it doesn't say anything crazy about PETG. And are you following all of these settings here? So no glue stick and leaving the cover covered, Alistair? But some you want to remove. Okay, Jeffrey, let's dive back in here. So when you're in the prepare tab, you'll see this this setting right up here, and it says support painting. So when you click on that, that's similar to like painting with the filament thing over here, this little paint bucket. It's similar to that, but now wherever you paint green, it's going to force it to put supports there. And all I'm doing is left clicking with my mouse right there. And it's doing that. If I right click with my mouse, you see how it turns red. So what that means is it's blocking supports there. So if you want to block a support, go in here and just paint red where that support is. And you can change the pen size. You can just do a fill. So when I right click, it fills all of that with blocking, or if I left click, it fills all of that. Same with all of that where it's blocking the supports. So you can see I have all supports blocked just by using the fill. So that's the easy way to do it there. And you can do spheres, gap fills, circle. You can make the circles bigger. Whatever you want to do. So that's the easy way, Jeffrey. Is that what you were looking for? Then Renee says, you went the same route as me. I bought an Ender Pro, and since getting the X1, I have not touched the Ender. Same. That other one, I think, Lenny, I think you were supposed to reach out to me for my old Creality. Like, again, if you want to pay for shipping on that thing, I will ship it. Where I'll go drop it off at FedEx, UPS. You tell me where to drop it off, I'll go drop it off. Send me the shipping label. And then Chris, I got the new gold plate. Unfortunately, Sunlu PETG, very hard to get off the plate. So I almost ruined. I don't really use my Wham Bam plate anymore, Chris, because the eSun PETG stuck on there and nearly ruined the plate or whatever. And then Alistair follows the rules on that page. Yeah, see, PETG is weird. You know, maybe put a light layer of glue on there, Alistair, and see if that doesn't help. And then you use Nummaker's PETG with no issues on the gold plate. Yeah, you might need to use a little bit of glue on there for the Bambu PETG. I haven't run any Bambu PETG on it just yet, and this will be the first time that I run ASA on it as well. And then Chris, I had to use glue to get it to come off. Yeah. And then Lenny, besides the two Bambu printers, I bought the Anchor Make M5C and love it. It's so easy, and it just works every time. Colorado Adventure Club, I returned my Ender. That's so funny. And then Jeffrey, also, I have the support filament. How do I add it for support? So you come over here to the support tab. And then right here where it says filaments for support. See how it says default? You have to enable support. And see where it says default? Then you just select where in the AMS your support filament is, and then it'll do that. And you do it for the support raft base, interface, whatever it is that you want. So you just select it right there. No, these are really good questions, Jeffrey. These are questions that I had when I first had my printer, and there was nobody out here to answer them. So that's how I know the answers. I had to go dig them up or just fumble around and find the answer, click buttons or whatever. But that one was a good one, Jeffrey. It's been a while since I used the support filament, so I had to remember how to do it. That's funny. Hey, JP, how are you? And then let's go back to device here. I'm going to go adjust the light on that real quick. Is what we're doing today specific to the X1C? No, so, well, not necessarily, JP, and that's actually a really good question as well, because I am printing with ASA, which does require an enclosure. So there are enclosures that you can print or buy for the P1P. The P1S comes with an enclosure, and I think you can do ASA in there. But the X1C for sure does that. That's actually a really good question, JP. Thank you for asking that. So let's see, ASA. It does not go over 100, so you should be able to use the P1S with it. Or a P1P with an enclosure. Great question, JP. And then the gold textured PEI plate that I'm using is available for all of the Bambu printers. Do you use the support filament for the base and the interface, or just the interface? I believe for both, unless you want to do different things, which I'm not nerdy enough or smart enough in this stuff to know why you would do it. I would just do it for both. See what happens. Just kidding. Just do it for both. You'll be fine. Got it. I have P1S with the upgraded gear and nozzle. Yeah, so you should be fine to run ASA or ABS in there. And you actually swap the hot end from AliExpress that uses the CHT clone nozzles. So far, so good. Yeah, I've been wondering about those. I saw those out there. JP, how much were they? Because like the hardened steel nozzle with everything on there, I think is $15 from Bambu. But I've seen the AliExpress ones, but I haven't got around to just ordering some and trying them out. How much are they on there, if you don't mind me asking, JP? And then Lenny says, I'm having a problem with my X1C camera. It starts out great and clear and then gets all pixelated. I think it may be time for a support ticket. Have you ever heard anyone else having this problem? No. How robust is your wireless network? Because I have like peeked into that. So how to get the camera in full screen or whatever, if you peek into that file that I show the little trick on or whatever, there's a lot of traffic that's going over there. So it could be, if you don't have a robust network, you could be clogging up your network because it is very busy. I will say that, Lenny, it is very busy with network traffic. And JP, I think the P1P and P1S comes with the gold PEI now. I didn't know that. I would imagine they have the the old ones on sale too. Do not buy the old one. If you're out there, do not buy it. Yeah, Garth, sounds like some sort of wireless issue. Oh. Or again, it may be good, Lenny. It may be that camera tools file or whatever. It may be an uninstall and reinstall time. $25. They're convenient that you're able to just swap that nozzle by itself. Would love to see you do a video running calibration and such with them. Just put them to the test. Yeah, I have such a backlog of videos right now, but yeah, that would be a good video. I'll have to look into that. I have looked at them to see. Be cool. And see, with the other PEI plate right here, I would be stressed, right? Because I didn't put a brim on this, and this is about the size of an object where it's kind of 50-50 on it sliding around in the middle of the print. But so far, so good with the gold PEI plate. Be sure to watch tomorrow's video, but yeah, it's definitely a buy. And then there's a V2 now. Be sure to get that one. Something with the size of the nozzle. That's good to know. Yeah, I'll look, you know, in a couple weeks or something, I'll look around and see what other third-party nozzles and stuff is out there. And maybe just kind of buy a bunch of stuff and see what all that's like. And then, Karen, are you printing PLA? No, we're printing ASA. And this is in another room and the window's cracked as well. When I do print with the brim, and I'm not printing with the brim on this one, and we're going to see if the gold plate can handle it. Normally I would put a brim on here, but I think the default is 2 millimeters, which on the PEI plate I don't think is enough. And if you have the normal PEI plate, that's definitely not enough. Normally what I do on there is 5 millimeters. So in others right here on brim, if I'm doing like an outer brim only, I generally change this brim width right here to 5 millimeters on the PEI plate. Great question, Jeffrey. And if you're enjoying the stream this evening, please hit that like button. It helps grow my stream. It seems like we get more and more people every week, so I appreciate everybody contributing to that and helping me grow my stream. Can you go smaller, brim? Yeah, you can go smaller but with the normal PEI plate, I wouldn't. It just doesn't. That's not enough surface area to really hold the stuff down. On the gold one, I haven't used the brim yet. On the cool plate, there's really not a need for it. Only in some very certain situations could I see a need for a brim on the cool plate or on the high temperature plate. Again, you have to put glue or some sort of some sort of material between the plate and it so it can release from it because it sticks so well. The PEI plates are the ones that are hard to do. And then I guess Garolite's out there, and I got a couple of people sending me some Garolite plates in the next couple of weeks, so we'll take a look at. And the promise of those is when it's hot, it sticks really good, and when it's cold, it doesn't stick at all. And then Colorado Adventure Club, did your printer go rogue? Mine was a victim, woke up and it tried to print something. Mine did not go rogue, and I always have mine turned on and connected to the internet. All stupid. Let me ask this question, Colorado Adventure Club, because this is my theory on that. Did you have a print that you sent that failed over the cloud? My theory is the printers that went rogue, quote unquote rogue, I believe those were prints that had failed in the cloud, and then when the cloud started working again, the prints sent out. See? Yep. I think that's what happened. I don't think they actually went rogue. Mine didn't go rogue because I didn't have a hung up print. I didn't send a print that didn't go through. And that happened to me before. I think I talked about this on last week's stream as well. Thank you for bringing it up again, Colorado Adventure Club. But I had that happen to me before where I had sent a print and it didn't work. And I even sent an email to support. I thought something was wrong with my printer. My wireless and everything went out. And like 2 hours later, it just randomly started printing again. Woke up to a massive blob of spaghettis. And that's funny. All right. I think we also have some prints to look at. And Eduardo, I think you sent some prints last week that we didn't get to. So I'll open those up. This is a cool little panda little diorama thing here. That was pretty cool. Check printer. So this is really cool. Sorry I didn't get to these in last week's stream. Check my print job. Ooh, I do need a brim. See, that's why we do these things on live stream. So you guys could see the fails with me. All right, let me go grab that real quick. All right, so let's go back in here and make sure that I have all of the support. We're just going to turn, yeah. All right, that should block all support. We will need a brim, and like I said, I generally do 5 on there. So now we'll see it has a brim. And we'll see if that works. Thank you, guys. I didn't even notice that. Good eye, everybody. Bambu is taking care of those that got affected, even giving 2 free spools of filament. That's cool. And Eduardo, that panda is on Cult 3D. I was going to ask where you got that from. And those turned out really cool. I like that Yosemite sound. That's really cool, out of a mason jar too. That's really, really cool little candy machine. Where did you get that from, Eduardo? Yeah, Colorado Adventure Club. How do I get me them spools? For real. Yeah, where do we go to get that, Chris? But Eduardo, where is this little candy machine? That's pretty cool. That'd make a cool gift for somebody, for a kid. That'd actually be a cool thing for like a little desk thing for somebody as well. Thingiverse. Thank you. And what is that? Is that all just PLA? Even on the bottom, what's the shiny part right here? Or is that a base that you already had that you printed something for? But that's really, really shiny right there. PLA, awesome. Everything printed but the jar and the candy. Yeah, that turned out really good. All right, and then Renee also sent us some prints for this week as well. And they said the true benchy. It also uses a spring from a pen, from just like a normal clicker pen or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna look for that. That's a pretty cool thing. And the famous Nimitz benchy. Oh, this is funny. So the reason why I used this benchy is I saw that everybody used the normal benchy for testing and doing all of that. And I don't remember, I think it was on Thingiverse or something like that. I came across this Nimitz style benchy and I was like, holy crap, that's the coolest benchy ever. And I've been using this ever since. And this is from the Creality days as well. So I've been using this benchy before I even had the X1C. So that's cool. But that is the true benchy for this channel. I had filament snap in the tube a few inches above the extruder. I watched Bambu cold pull video and I could not get the Bowden tube out. It was suggested to remove the transparent clip so the back ring could be pushed down to release the tube. I could not move that transparent ring. Any tips? Which transparent? Okay, so normally I get the filament stuck inside of the AMS, and in order to get that apart, in the back there's a little thing that you have to push down to get the Bowden tube out, and you do have to pull hard on that, Karen. It's like you're gonna bend the tube. You have to pull on it so hard, and that's how you get it out of there. But that goes from there to the AMS hub, and I normally don't get stuff stuck there, but you said you had a few inches above the extruder. So yeah, getting it out of the other side there is a pain. And you got that one out, no problem, but you have one up there. Okay, yeah, I see where you're having a problem. Give me 1 second. Let me go look at the printer real quick. So Karen, on the back of mine, right before it goes out the back of the printer from the extruder where the chain is, I have a quick disconnect there. The other thing that you can do is if you can't find anything and you just want to fix it, is disconnect it from the extruder and then disconnect the Bowden tube in the back and then just cut a long piece of filament and push that filament through so it pushes the broke one out. That way you can grab it and then you can just yank that other one back out and put those two things back together and get it out. So mine has a little quick disconnect on the back. So you should be able to pull that out and grab it. But if not, just disconnect it from the extruder, the little quick disconnect there. It's the little black ring that you push down on. Disconnect that one, disconnect it from the back, and then just run a long piece of filament through there and push that broken piece out. And then JP, have I seen the warped benchy version? I have seen that one. That's the only one that you print. That's cool. And then cold pull video made it look easy and could not see the transparent clip. My printer is only a month old. Jeffrey, okay, I did print the Nimitz benchy, so you're in the club. That's the cool kids club, by the way. Yeah, Karen, if it's causing that much, just unplug the Bowden tube out of the back of it, disconnect it from the extruder and just push a long piece through there. You'll be fine. Yeah, just like that. I ended up pushing the filament through and push it. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, instead of having to take it all apart, do it the easy ways. But it sounds like you already did that, so you did exactly what I would have done. All right, let's look at more of Renee's prints, and these are coasters. Those turned out really cool. Some Starfleet Command. There you go. Colorado Adventure Club has good advice as well. And then Renee sent this as well. Some wall art. He said this printed in 2.5 hours. I thought this turned out really cool. Is that Dreamcatcher or something like that? Renee, are you still on here with us? But that turned out really cool. That would be something. Yeah, where did you get this file? Like I have a roll of that gradient filament, and I've been looking for something to print with it. This would probably turn out really cool printed in the gradient. Yeah, where did you get this from, Renee? I think this would something similar to this would be cool to print with that gradient. I have the dark blue and light blue Bambu gradient filament. This would be something really cool to print with that. From Printables. All right, I'll look it up. And thank you for sending it in. Thank you for sending all 3 of your prints in. All right, and it hasn't messed up yet. The new hue coloring. I'm not sure what that means. Is it just different colors or whatever? I see they keep adding more and more colors to everything. It's hard to keep track of all the new ones. Look up Safe from Rain and Printables. Just printed that one yesterday. Came out great. Will do. And Eduardo sent us these sailboats. Oh, wow. Yeah, that looks really cool too. Yeah, where did these come from? Yeah, those turned out really, really cool, Eduardo. Yeah, thanks for sending that. That turns out really cool. And thank you for sending the link to the gumball machine. I've gone down the Hue Forge rabbit hole. I've been looking into the Hue Forge method. It uses like 4 colors to make a colored picture. There's insane prints that coming out. No, I haven't seen that. That sounds interesting. JP, I think these are all by the same designer. Could be, or remixes of the same design. Hue Forge is sick. Yeah, send me a link. Colorado Adventure Club. That sounds really cool. I would imagine no supports on there would be my guess. Jeffrey, generally the little tiny things like that you don't want to put supports on, because when you take the supports off it'll break. But I could be mistaken. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think the Hue Forge is the same as the lithophane, but I could be wrong about that too. I think it's similar, but not the exact same thing. And then no supports on the sailboat. All right, wow, we ran out of time quick this evening. Oh, looks like we made it further than the first time. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. But with that, I'll let everybody get back to their Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon for our friends there down under in Australia. But I appreciate everybody asking questions, sending in the pictures of your prints and everything, hitting the like button. And man, we had a lot of viewers tonight as well. So I really appreciate that. Really appreciate everybody spending some time with me. So with that, I'll let everybody go. Have a great evening. And enjoy the rest of your week, and be sure to watch tomorrow's video. Thanks, everybody.